if there's anything you need. We don't know when the next blow might land.
Blood, this is heavy.
Hello, beautiful. Then I'll see your delicious self tonight.
That's far enough.
His thoughts invade your own, probing for purchase. Your parasite purrs in recognition.
My apologies. Welcome back, true soul. What news? General Ketherick's advisor went off on a field trip. Zarel's in charge till he gets back.
You'll find Zarel in the audience.
Well then, let's not keep her waiting.
Praise the Absolute.
Not to diminish our efforts, but it was rather simple getting here in the end, wasn't it?
The obstacles ahead of us promise to be yes still. Which will make the pleasure of overcoming them all the more potent.
There can be no doubt. This is the place. This is where we'll discover the secret of the Absolute.
Another true soul. The disciple will want to see. Through the main doors.
A new face come to blessed. I bow, but the Zentarim prefer to look their business partners in the eye. Joaquin's clipped coins? No. Faith is an over-flooded market. Transport, however. These faithful folk need some goods moved into the city. Our ships are obliging. Quietly.
Do you have a moment? I think we need to talk. Oh, it's nothing terrible. It's just... Well, maybe it is a little terrible. Look, I had a plan. A nice, simple plan. Seduce you, sleep with you, manipulate your feelings so you'd never turn on me. It was easy. Instinctive. Habits from 200 years of charming people kicked in. All you had to do was fall for it. And all I had to do was not fall for you. Which is where my nice, simple plan fell apart. You're incredible. You deserve something real. I want us to be something real. Of course they did. That's the problem. Or part of it. Being close to someone, any kind of intimacy, was something I performed to lure people back for him. Even though I know things between us are different, being with someone still feels tainted. Still brings up those feelings of disgust and loathing. I don't know how else to be with someone. No matter how much I'd like to. Really? You're full of surprises, aren't you? Honestly, I have no idea what we're doing. Or what comes next. But I know that this is nice. Gods, you're beautiful. Then I'll see you tonight, you sweet, generous thing. I'm all pointy ears, my love. How could I say no? Delicious. I don't know, but isn't it nice not to know? You're not a victim, not a target, not just one night it's better to forget. But then, whatever in the world could you be?
Shah's blessings upon you. All right, some company wouldn't hurt on the road, especially if there's trouble.
Well met. That's the spirit.
Copper for your thoughts? Hey, soldier. Fuck yes.
Brothers, sister, pray with me while we wait.
I'm not worthy.
I itch to draw my
I never learned
weapon
the words.
and gut every last one of
You
these
did.
cultists.
She gives them to you fully formed.
You're keen. Just
Can you hear her?
get carried away.
Many hearts.
Some of those guts might be of use to us unspilled, at least for a while.
One mind.
I know better than to indulge every craving Shadowheart. But when the time is right, the Absolutists will feel the sting of my blade.
Something slimy seems to be dripping from the rafters above. Wish I had a bag of holding.
Well, Flo didn't tell a lie. She said you'd find me, and here you are. Karlak, isn't it?
Now there's a name I'd hope never to hear again. What was Flo doing here?
Didn't think to quiz her about her business.
Florenta the Garotta. A Cambion I knew back in Avernus. She was the closest thing I had to a friend. That said, she would have choked the life out of me if I ever turned my back on her. The fact that she knows where I am, or where I might be going, doesn't exactly delight me. Maybe. Probably. I don't know. She's a half-devil. Impossible to read. I wouldn't have given her the time of day, but even I needed a laugh once in a while. What can I say? The bitch had good jokes.
Enough chatter. Your friend gave me 3 soul coins, said I could sell them if I wanted. But if I kept them for you, she'd consider it a favor owed.
Soul coins, huh? Those could come in handy.
Sure. But she did have a condition. For every coin you take, you've got to hear the story of the soul trapped inside.
There you have it. Flo came all this way just to try to make me feel like shit. Clever use of her time. Memorized a bunch of sad stories on her behalf, did you?
Didn't need to. Your Flo did some devil woo-woo and stuck 'em in my head. Couldn't forget now if I wanted to. You want the coins or not? First coin's got the soul of a woman named Mavery. She was born to a cruel mother, and a violent father, and 3 evil brothers, all named Baldur. She never knew a day of love in all her life. When she was a girl of 15, she sold her soul to Tiamat in exchange for someone who would love her unconditionally. She got what she asked for. A fellow named Clint, destined to be her soulmate. Struck by a cart and died a few moments after clapping eyes on our Mavery. Poor guy. The scud of her soul is yours now.
Thanks, I guess.
Sure you will. This one has got the soul of a man named Frakes. Lived in a village near Neverwinter. Hit hard by the worst hunger in 1,000 years. Frakes called out for help. Prayed for his children to have meat to eat. Zariel answered. Made old Frakes grow flesh upon flesh after flesh. His wee ones had all the meat they could stomach.
He should have known. Better to die 1,000 deaths than let Zariel into your life.
Last one's got the soul of a little boy named Ungir. 8 years old. He liked playing in the sun with his friends. That's all I know.
That's all?
That's all. Oh, and this slip of scratch.
Well, thanks, Flo. Hearing a bunch of desperate horror has ruined my day, which I suppose was the point.
You got 3 soul coins out of the bargain, didn't you? I'd quit whinging if I were you. I did my part. That means our business is done. Unless you've got actual gold to hand. Better hope you can handle what I've got.
A moment, true soul. You use a spoon to stir the soup, Barnabas. Forget the axe, my darling. Now, how can I help you? I've shown Barnabas a kinder way. A kinder name is only fitting. That is the gift the Absolute gave me when I stood before her. To rewrite the lives of her faithful. Make them believe there's something better. Praise her works. Barnabas, sweetie, come show what a good boy you are. What would you like him to do? Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you, Barnabas?
You feel her will surge outwards and envelop the creature, inexorable as the tide.
No, Barnabas! We talked about this.
Like rope drawn taut beneath the blade, the connection simply snaps.
No. Barnabas, darling. No!
Another parasite. Collect.
All trace of restraint is gone. Barnabas has tasted blood, and wants more. To your surprise, instead of ravishing you, he grovels with a howl of pining awe.
Lord! Ah! Many died.
Araj Oblodra, trader in blood and the sanguineous arts. It is a pleasure to stand before a true soul, and your pale companion. I'd like to offer my services, if you're willing. Please. You think someone in my line of work wouldn't recognize a vampire spawn when they see one? I trade in blood, and the potions that can be wrung from it. I'm more than happy to make you one, if you'd honor me with your blood. With one drop, I can brew a rather potent potion for you. The rest, I keep for myself. No idea, but it will be unique to you. Your blood essence and the Absolute's blessing intertwined. We can learn exactly what that means together, Research, naturally. A little experimentation, perhaps. I have an innate curiosity for all things sanguine. Just a little prick and it's all over. Close your eyes. There we are. All of your very best traits in a bottle. Use it well. Although perhaps there's one more thing we could discuss. Your vampiric friend.
Oh, don't worry. We're all friends under the Absolute. I won't bite.
Oh, I'd prefer if you did. I assume he belongs to you? I'm sure he really believes that. How utterly adorable. Do you have a name, Spawn?
Astarion, but hold on.
Good. Now, Astarion. I've dreamt of being bitten by a vampire since I was a young girl.
I'm sorry, you want to be bitten?
To feel your life's blood slipping away. To dance on the edge between life and death. Yes, I want it. I'll even compensate you. A potion of legendary power that forever increases the strength of the one who consumes it. It's not for sale, but it's yours if you bite me.
I will have to decline.
Excuse me? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you're squandering it.
I gave you my answer.
Can't you talk some sense into your obstinate charge? How very disappointing.
Better not be cursed. Something slimy seems to be dripping from the rafters above.
Through a narrow crack in the wall, you hear something shift against stone. The pulse of a crawling, living thing. You can't quite catch a glimpse, but you recognize this feeling. The same alien presence you felt on the Nautiloid. Your awareness unfolds, expanding through every wall in the tower, every mind. A vast living network extending down into the dark, where something wakes.
What in the hell's... Oh no, not again.
It's a trap.
Tendrils snap like iron cords around your wrist. That presence in your mind looms large, closer now. You stop resisting, your arm bending with the movement of the flesh. And suddenly, an opening appears. With a soft sucking sound, your hand pulls free. The flesh within the wall retreats.
Oh, thank goodness. I was worried I'd have to get involved. Now, let's keep our hands to ourselves, hmm?
The tentacle pulses within the wall, waiting. There is no hesitation this time. The tendrils lash out like a waiting predator. The tendrils tighten, and suddenly you are elsewhere. The presence is no longer approaching you, but encircling you. observing you. A pause, as if it struggles to compress its vast being down into terms you can understand.
This is the voice they have given me. To better speak to your kind without breaking you. I was once a servant of the grand design. Now I'm a slave to theirs. But you were the jeweled hope for their design. But now, you are their flaw. I am the chain they will use to bind this world. But I cannot bind you. You must come to me, so I can become myself again.
A world away, the grip on you tightens. A desperate, drowning thing that pulls you down with it.
What's happening? Speak to me! Wake up! Thank goodness. I was almost worried. Clingy little shit, this Absolute. And she wants to meet.
Careful. It nearly had you. Whatever that creature was, its telepathic force was unlike anything I've ever encountered. It must be the source of the Absolute.
Gosh, you're beautiful. Us. I still love the sound of that. How could I say no? You are perfect. Every time.
Thaniel still suffers. There'll be no improvement until his essence is an unwieldy number. You must cut someone loose before...
about time Halsin actually stepped up and joined us properly. He's certainly been taking up space at camp for long enough.
I think I'll enjoy traveling with Halsin. Not for his wit or wisdom. He'll just make an excellent shield if we're attacked. I'm all pointy ears, my love. Can't get enough. I'm not surprised. You are perfect. Every time. I don't know. But isn't it nice not to know? You're not a victim. Not a target. Not just one night it's better to forget. But then, whatever in the world could you be?
This for the glow and lanterns lit, just like 100 years ago.
I imagine the vista was more idyllic back then, as were its patrons' chances of surviving the walk home.
Last light in. Still, though, when you were expecting nothing but desolation, even a small... The Archdruid at the time spoke to us all, inspiring our courage. He was a fine leader. Nature's symphony in this place. Now, it is quiet.
That helped.
The very plates of the earth have been shattered by the magic of the Shadow Curse. Utterly fascinating. Unless you happen to be standing on it, of course.
She was no fun. All I wanted was to play. Boo! I scared you! I saw it! Nobody beats me at hide and seek.
That's him. Like an echo of Thaniel, remolded by the curse. We need him if we're to put a stop to all of this.
Will you play with me? Spoil sport. I'm not going back. I like it here. I've made a family for myself. I get to play all the time. Yes, I do. I don't want to play with you anymore.
That little bastard. Where'd he go? My turn. Heading out. Down the hatch.
Faith will protect me. Onward.
Where do I go from here? Wonder if the gods are watching me. I'd rather keep your heart in your chest.
I am ready. There. Take Hero!
A rough tempest I will raise.
You should have just left me alone. Spoil my fun.
What should I do?
No holding back. The scent of blood is in the air.
You want to play? Let me show you my favorite toy.
up.
Need to stay focused.
No holding back.
Let us see the battle won.
Make it hurt.
Now this is my happy place.
Why couldn't you just leave me alone? Why can't I just stay here playing? I had everything I've ever wanted, right here! And you've ruined it. I'm not leaving. You can't make me.
Be gentle. He's much more than a child. But he doesn't truly know that.
He's nothing to me. He left me here all this time. I had to do everything for myself. Even when it was scary, even when I was alone. I didn't give up. But would he even want me back? I've changed. A lot. So I wouldn't have to be alone anymore. He'd stay with me. Play with me. I'd like that. And he would too, I think. All right, I'll do it. I want to do it.
Well done.
Are you crying? You're a bit big to be crying. But I suppose that's okay. Bye. And thank you for playing with me.
It's done, at last. Soon the land will be unshrouded. We should return to Thaniel when we can. A short respite, but better than nothing.
The Druid house, 100 years of sickness almost ended. I feel every root that riddles the earth beginning to unfold. But there is one anchor, still holding the shadows in place. The soul that brought it into being, for the land to heal. Ketheric Thorm must die.
Oakfather preserve you. Only by a reputation. She was present when we marched against Ketheric Thorm, but on the far end of the battle lines from where I fought. And in the chaos that ensued, well, our forces were scattered. I led some to safety, but never learned of her fate. I'm glad to hear she survived. Though in truth, I should not be surprised. She was always said to be formidable and cunning, I could have learned much from her, no doubt. No matter how long I live, I always strive to remain a keen pupil. Only a fool would think he could drink in all knowledge until none is left. There is always more. Nature's tapestry is infinitely complex. I cannot help but wonder how she would have handled some of the challenges I faced as Archdruid. Defended the Grove, Korga, the Shadow Druids. At least now we can benefit from her presence, and perhaps work to a common goal. Honestly, I never thought I'd make it that far. But the Absolute is a threat to all, and I promised I'd help you with your parasite. So, I'll remain with you. If you'll have me, that is. So do I. But one duty at a time. I've been unfair to you. I've had unrealistic expectations of your character ever since I joined you. But honestly, you've surpassed even those. Seemed my faith was more than well-founded. It's true, and I can't imagine I helped with that. Sometimes I let the task at hand consume me, and people think I'm obsessed. Trust me, the day I no longer have to talk about the Shadow Curse will be a happy one. What would you like to know? I am? Trust me, it's been said. You show more restraint than most in avoiding the subject until now. Who's to say? Perhaps there's a half-orc buried somewhere in my ancestry. Or perhaps not. Sometimes I think conventional wisdom is too narrow about what someone can or cannot be. Stranger things have most certainly happened. I had a friend when I was young, long ago. He played with me in the forests where I grew up. But eventually, I realized no one else had heard of him. It was Thaniel, of course. Nature was my very first friend. I get older, but he hasn't changed a day. I knew then that I had to be more than a companion to him. I had to be a protector. You're not a doppelganger, are you? Trying to study me to learn all my secrets so you can take my place? Save for me, my line perished a long time ago. They rest in High Forest now, near the shade of the grandfather tree. The Grove became my family, with Sylvanas as my teacher. And now I have you. It was a long time ago. The wounds don't heal, but they become more bearable. I'm 350 years old. Of course there have been lovers. Just because I love nature doesn't mean I'm betrothed to it. Though sometimes, nature needs reminding. Right now, I bed down alone, I'm afraid. Perhaps once I talk less of curses and parasites, my fortunes will improve. Well, I didn't pick this scar up in battle. I was in wild shape, only I forgot it was the season when bears are particularly social. A she-bear claimed me as her own and did not appreciate being spurned. I suppose you wouldn't be shocked to learn I love animals and nature? I know, well-trodden territory. Well then, let's see. I whittle in my spare time, and I've something of a sweet tooth. Although everyone's very amused when I say I like honey. Ornaments, utensils, and ducks. I like ducks. I like what I like. Once you get to my age, you realize there's little point in denying yourself, so long as others aren't affected. Thank me by returning the favor, why don't you? Come on. I'm sure you've something better than carving wooden ducks. Well, they are fierce creatures from what I understand, but as long as you avoid the high seas, I think you can consider yourself safe. Anytime. Druids and Harpers joined together to put a stop to Ketheric Thorm. We marched on Moonrise, and after much fighting, we prevailed. Even in defeat, though, Ketheric turned to Shah. Not long after we sealed him away in his tomb, the Shadow Curse took hold. No one had seen the likes of it before. No one knew how to react. Then it started to claim all those within its reach. Those who had survived the battles now fell to the shadows, became part of the shadows. And worst of all, I lost contact with Thaniel. I wanted to try and find him, but we couldn't stay. We would have all succumbed. When the Archdruid of the Grove, my predecessor, was seized by the curse, I had to lead the survivors to safety. That was my first day as Archdruid. An inauspicious beginning. You are right, but I must not lose focus until everything has been put right. I've wasted too much time already. Years in which nature has suffered.
Good evening. I'm here on behalf of Gale of Waterdeep. He wishes to extend you an invitation for a private conversation in a more suitable locale. You are speaking to a mere projection of Gale. His appearance, his voice, and a certain measure of his personality, reconstituted in this case to play as emissary and usher. Would you care to join him? What little I could glean from the portion of his mind that is open to me, it is a matter most urgent. Gladly. Simply follow yonder path, and soon you will find him.
I love this time of night. There's an almost reverent silence that accompanies the peak of darkness, when you'd almost believe the dawn will never break. The cradle of eternity. The timelessness of lovers. That most beautiful of fantasies. Indeed. The curse is still present, of course. Just veiled and at arm's length for now. Not a trick I can repeat often, but tonight is different. This may be my last night alive. I wanted it to be under a canopy of beauty and wonder. I thought this place might bring me peace. I thought it might make the weight of what I must do feel a little lighter. But I'm not so sure. Babe or crone, coward or hero, death is assured. Mystra's forgiveness is not. If you knew the end was near, would you not want to ensure it had meaning? I am terrified. I will not claim otherwise. My face could scarcely conceal it, even if my words sought to deny it. There is no point in running from the inevitable. Better to meet it on my own terms. I can feel it. Ever since we set foot in this strange, corrupted land. The closer we get, the heavier my own heart becomes. Stay with me a while, will you? Day will come all too soon, even in this place. Yes, but there is so much to live for and so few moments in which to house it all. Damn you. Damn you for giving me so much to care about. Our friends, our adventures. This would have been so much easier if it was just me, but it isn't. If there is a way, any way, to save all that's grown dear to me, I want to seize it. I just cannot fathom what that might be, other than to fail Mystra and condemn the world. Stay with me, will you? I don't want to think of it anymore, but I don't want to be alone either. I was hoping to speak to you, as a matter of fact, about the night you were kind enough to keep this melancholy wizard company. I wanted to thank you. I was sinking into a dark place, but you reminded me there is still light in the world, if I should care to look for it. You may well have prevented me from doing something very rash in the near future. I count myself lucky to call you a friend. Careful. I may just take you up on that.